Hi everybody, Forerata Live here with another Keyforge video, this time looking at some more Mass Mutation spoilers and in particular the Saurian ones. Last week was absolutely insane for Mass Mutation spoilers, so many cards being revealed. I'm really excited about this set and really keen to go through them. I've had to split down the cards into the different houses because there were just so many coming out. And before I start, I really want to give credit to the whole Keyforge community that have been pulling all this information together. Really, I'm just summarising all their hard work. Particular shout out to the Sanctimonious Discord and the Mass Mutation spoiler channel there. Loads of people really putting in a huge amount of effort to capture all this information for the community, and especially Andy Ming, one of the users on there who's been translating the Chinese cards throughout the last few weeks as they've been revealed over on the Asmodee kind of website in China. So big thanks to everyone in the community who's finding out all of these spoilers and revealing them. Like I said, I just wanted to put them all together in one place so it's a bit easier to find them, and as I said, particularly for the Saurians, I'm really excited with the cards. I'm seeing some great new cards in here. So without further ado, let's go through and look at some of these cards that have been coming out over the last week. First up, Citizen Shrix. It's a mutant, so a mutant version of Senator Shrix. Interesting flavor text. Losing the election was just the beginning. A 3-power creature. It's got a play reap effect, exalt Citizen Shrix, steal 1. So quite liking this. Play it down immediately. You can steal. You're going to be exalting, so more amber on your cards. But I guess that's the trade-off. So quite like that card. Next up, another creature, Cornicent Octavia. So this is a 5-power 1 armor creature with the action Capture 2. So again, pretty powerful effect here. Once you've got it down on the board and into use, the ability to capture 2 amber, and it's a reasonably beefy dinosaur creature there. So interesting to see that. Kind of think there'll be some useful combos with this as well. Galeotops. So this is a 12-power creature, but it only deals 4 damage when fighting. So I think we've seen a few more powerful creatures in the previous set, Pterodactyl, Gargantodon, and also with perhaps more useful effects. So yeah, this is a big beefy body, but nothing special other than that. So interesting, like the artwork, otherwise, don't really know what to say. Now this is a much more interesting creature that we see here, Dreadbone Decimus. It's got the trait Assassin, so not sure if we've seen many Assassins before. 5-power creature, but a really interesting effect. It's got play, fight. You may exalt Dreadbone Decimus. If you do, destroy a creature with lower power than Dreadbone Decimus. So 5-power creature comes into play, you can immediately exalt it and destroy anyone on the board. So when you think about paying 1 amber by exalting to basically destroy a creature with power 5 or lower, that's going to be pretty amazing. I think that's going to be a really powerful effect. If you can start to boost up Decimus's power levels as well, even better. But there's loads of high value, low power targets out there, and this seems like a pretty cheap way, paying 1 amber to get rid of them. So I'd be really keen to see this card in quite a few of my decks. Gladiodontus. Another mutant, another creature, 15 power, enters play stunned, only deals 5 damage when fighting, but it has the fight reap effect. If this is the first time Gladiodontus has been used this turn, ready and enrage it. So you've got the ability there to use it twice in a turn. That's pretty nice. That's pretty nice, and you can obviously fight and kill people off. You can take a lot of damage. So I'm liking this card. I think compared to say Galeotops that we had a look at earlier, this would be a much nicer card to see in your deck. Next one, High Priest Torvus. Lots of really interesting creatures have come out, and this is one of them. 4-power 1 armor, reap effect. You may exalt High Priest Torvus. If you do, after you resolve your next action card this turn, return it to your hand instead of placing it on your discard pile. So you can use an action card twice in a turn. That could be game-breakingly powerful. I think in the right deck with the right action cards in Saurian, or some way to use something out of house, this could be a really, really impactful card. 4-power 1 armor, so hopefully going to be able to stay on the board. So yeah, nice card, interesting. Now this is another really good card, Nerotaurus, 6 power, so pretty powerful. 2 effects, fight effect, enemy creatures cannot reap during your opponent's next turn. A reap effect, enemy creatures cannot fight during your opponent's next turn. So if you've got this out, you can choose what you can prevent your opponent from doing. It's a rare. I'm not sure that's coming across particularly well on the image, which is a bit blurry, but I think this is a rare card, so you're unlikely to have two in the deck. But if you did have two in a deck out, you could fight with one, reap with one, and you're pretty much putting your opponent out of play. But either way, this is going to be really powerful. So if you've come up against Star Alliance Logos cards, you can stop them reaping. If you're up against a big board and you don't want them fighting you, you can reap. So I really like this card. I think I'm going to be keen to see this as a card in pretty much any deck. Really interesting artwork as well. Optio-Gorkus. This is quite an interesting one. 3 power, 3 armor. It's elusive, and it gives its neighbours the effect destroyed. Move each amber on this creature to a neighbouring Optio-Gorkus. So basically, it's saying anyone next to this, if they get destroyed, their amber goes on to Optio-Gorkus. And with the 3 armor, he should be able to hang around a bit with the elusive as well. So this is like a mini kind of move of the amber around, and if you can do something to then get the amber off Optio-Gorkus, I think that's quite powerful. But at the very least, it just stalls that amber going to your opponent for at least one more turn or at least one more fight. So that's a nice card again. Nice, interesting effects, and really different effects in these Saurian creatures, mixing things up a bit from the previous sets. Now here's a pair of cards, and you can see from the artwork like you could almost overlap them and join them up in the middle. So Scylla and Charybdis, and so Scylla 7 power, each enemy creature gains reap, deal 4 damage to this creature. So you know, basically causing them to damage themselves if they reap. And on Charybdis you've got each enemy creature gains before fight lose 1 amber. So that's massive. I mean, Charybdis out, making your opponent lose an amber in order to fight you before they even get the fight off is super powerful. So this is some real reap hate and some real fight hate that you can have in your deck. Looks like it's a rare for Scylla and then a special rare for Charybdis, so not sure if they're always going to come as a pair, or you might get Scylla on its own. Looks like to get Charybdis you're going to be getting the 2 as a pair. So again, really nice to see this in the deck. Could cause a lot of disruption to your opponent, and at 7 power they're going to be hard to shift off the board as well. So some 2 really interesting creatures there. Okay, so those are all the creatures. Let's look at some action cards. And the first up, Curse of Vanity, which actually got revealed a little while ago, comes with an amber pip. Play, exalt a friendly creature and an enemy creature. So not overwhelmed with this one. Could be good, could be bad. The ability to put some amber on the enemy is available for you, but you've got to put some on one of your creatures, so I guess you're hoping you're going to be able to use it, protect it, or recycle that amber in some way. So okay, so nothing special. Next up, Defense Initiative. Action, play, ward a creature. You may exalt that creature. If you exalt it, ward each of its neighbours. So this I would much prefer to see compared to that previous vanity card. You know, this is allowing you to exalt 1 creature and ward 3 of your creatures in your battle line. That could be a brilliant effect to have in, and I really like the artwork there as well, with the little kind of Saurian glowing circle. So yeah, this is a card I'd really like to see. Defense Initiative. Beware the Ides, so really playing off the Roman theme here, and a bit of Julius Caesar. So you get an amber pip, play, deal 23 damage to a creature in the centre of its controller's battle line. So like I say, playing off the Julius Caesar theme, and this is really aimed at knocking out those leaders. So this is where you you kill off your leader in at least one of the battle lines. So interesting with the wording, that you could in theory use it on your own battle line, but I guess mainly you're going to be trying to knock out your opponent, and if they've got a leader and they've got them in the centre of the battle line, they should hopefully kill them off. Next action, Sagittarius Gaze. 1 amber pip, it gives you an enhancement of 1 damage, and then it says play, exalt a damaged creature. So I think there's probably some ways you can use this. I guess you're probably most likely going to be putting that exalting amber on an opponent that you're then about to take out, so I can see how that could be useful. Now this is a card that we only have from the Chinese version of it, so not entirely sure on the name translation. It's something along the lines of Blast from the Past, and it has the play effect, exalt a friendly creature, archive a Saurian creature from your discard pile, and deal damage to an enemy creature equal to the power of the archived creature. So that is a really nice effect. So you're going to exalt one of your creatures, then you can take a Saurian creature from your discard pile and archive it, so you're going to be able to reuse it pretty quickly, and you can deal damage to an enemy creature equal to the power of that archived creature. So, you know, if you take Gladiodontus 15 power out of your discard pile into your archive, so you're going to get it back in play pretty quickly, and you can do 15 damage to a creature, and all that costs you is exalting one friendly creature. That's going to be a really nice card to have, and I can see how you can, you know, get some really nice play effects off that, and you're going to be recurring creatures, or admittedly not immediately, but via your archive, so that's really good. And another card now that we've only got a Chinese version of, so again, looks to be called something like Crystal Current, comes with an Amber Pit, play, exalt each mutant creature. So again, this is going to be pretty situational. I think we've seen a few cards that are kind of mutant trait related or non-mutant trait related, where it really depends on the makeup of your deck, who you're up against, whether they're a mass mutation deck, whether they're not, as to whether this is a positive effect or not, or whether it's just going to have to go in the discard. Legion's March, again, comes with an Amber Pip, play, for the remainder of the turn, after you use a dinosaur creature, deal 1 amber to each one damage to each non-dinosaur creature. Yeah, not too sure about this. Again, not really seeing the utility immediately. So, you know, if you've only got dinosaurs on the board, and your opponent hasn't got any dinosaurs, and you're using a load of dinosaurs, yeah, it could be a way to get some damage onto your enemy. I can see that. But if you've got a load of non-dinosaur creatures out, then I'm thinking you're going to be doing quite a bit of damage to your own side. So. Could be useful, could not, could just be played for the Amber Pip at the end of your turn, you know, after you've used all your creatures, if you don't want to do any damage. Patronage, play, move half of the amber from a creature to your pool, rounding up, move the remaining amber from that creature to your opponent's pool. So yeah, this is, you know, a way to get amber off a creature, and I guess you can use it on your opponent's creature or your creature, and it allows you to access half the amber. So I guess if you've got a creature with a load of amber that's, you know, pretty likely to get taken out, and your opponent would get all the amber, this is one way that you can get half of that. But I guess, you know, if you think you can use the amber on your creature, or you're going to get all of it back somehow, maybe this isn't too helpful, because you are immediately giving your opponent half the amber. So I think there'll be some ways to play this where it can, you know, really be to your advantage. But I think we're going to have to, you know, you're going to have to see where you are, what creatures you've got, whether you think they're vulnerable or not, before you'll know whether it's worth playing this. Okay, and now a few artifacts, and there's a whole series of these. Again, only got the Chinese versions. You've got Monument to Ludo, which gives you an action. Move 1 amber from a creature to the common pool. If Perfectus Ludo is in your discard pile, move 2. So this is taking amber off creatures and putting it in the pool. You've got Monument to Faust. So this has an action, your opponent's keys cost +1 amber next turn. If Faust the Great is in your discard pile, +2. So I think that's pretty powerful. And again, if you've got Faust the Great in your discard pile, this is like a free 2 amber key cost increase every time you call Saurians, so that's pretty nice. Monument to Octavia, action, a friendly creature captures 1 amber. If Cornisant Octavia is in your discard pile, it captures 2. So this is allowing you to capture extra amber. And then Monument to Shrix. So this you can actually spend amber that's on this artifact. Action, move 1 amber from your pool to Monument Shrix. If Citizen Shrix is in your discard pile, move 1 amber from any player's pool to Monument Shrix instead. Yeah, I think this is a way to maybe protect your amber from stealing. Certainly if you can move it from your opponent's amber and effectively steal it onto here, that's even more powerful. So I think that's going to be the main benefit once Citizen Shrix is actually in your discard pile. Yeah, 4 interesting artifacts, and obviously this theme of, you know, some of the dinosaur creatures having this monument that sort of syncs up with their effects or amplifies their effects if they have been destroyed and are in your discard pile. Okay, this is another artifact, Curiosaurus. Comes with an amber pip. There's a capture enhancement on it here, but comes with an amber pip, and it reads, each creature with amber on it gains destroyed. Move 1 amber from this creature to the most powerful enemy creature. So again, that could be a really interesting effect, and if you play around it cleverly with your decks, I think you could start loading up your opponent's most powerful creatures with a load of amber, and then destroying it to try and get that all back. So yeah, I think that's going to need some skillful play, but could be a really good card to have in your hand. Next up, we've only got the Chinese version of this card. Comes with an amber pip. Forum of Giants is what we think the name translates at, and it reads, at the start of your turn, the player who controls the creature with the highest power gains 1 amber. So if you've got some pretty beefy cards in your deck, this could well play to your advantage. I guess you've got to think about what your opponent has in their hand, what they've got out on deck, as to whether you think you're going to maintain that advantage turn after turn. Otherwise you'll be giving them amber. And that's it. Like I said, a whole load of cards that came out last week, got spoiled, got revealed. Really big thanks to all of the community who do so much work kind of finding out all this information and collating it. As I said, I'd really recommend people joining the Sanctimonious Discord and the Mass Mutation Spoilers channel in there if you're interested in Mass Mutation spoilers. I'm getting more and more excited about Mass Mutations the more cards I see. I think there's some really interesting and different cards coming there, different twists on effects we've seen before, so I think it is going to mix things up a bit. Don't know what the power levels are going to look like. We know though that in China and Taiwan the cards are going to release pretty soon now, at the end of May, and I think at that point we'll probably have all of the cards in the set spoiled. We'll know what all the cards are going to be, and although the worldwide release will not be for a little bit after that, we'll probably start to understand what the different deck compositions start to look like. So I think it's only going to get more and more exciting before Mass Mutations gets released. That's it from me today. I hope you've really enjoyed this video. If you do, I'd really appreciate if you like the video. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, I've got lots more Keyforge content coming and loads of videos for you to check out. I also stream on Twitch at Forarata Live, so if you want to see me streaming some Keyforge gameplay, please do follow me there as well. Thanks very much for watching.